Okay, welcome to the 7th SEENET-MTP school on high-energy physics. Welcome to Niš. It is the opening of the school and of the first session. More or less all students came, except a colleague from Czech Republic who will join us in the afternoon. We have here 3 of 6+1 lecturer who will talk during the school. I am very much indebted to them because they find time, possibility to join us and to present you a part of your program you used to have in your PhD study. I would like to introduce some colleagues who will regard you. First of all, it will be Professor Vesna, Vice Rector of University of Niš for International Relations. After that, it will be Professor Milan Dudas from Ecole Polytechnique from Warsaw. And at the end of this short opening, we will have a Skype video contact with Alessandro Lombardo from Central European Initiative for Trieste, who is one of the main sponsors of the school and of the workshop. On Friday, Professor Jan Judicek, head of the Department for Theoretical Physics in CERN, will be in position also to regard you what is tradition, because it's a joint additional PhD training program we organize with CERN and also with ICP and other partners. So I would like now to ask Professor Vesna to thank her that she joined us and to regard you on behalf of the University of Niš. Vesna, please.
Dear colleagues and guests, Professor Dudas, dear participants of the SEENET-MTP Balkan School. It's my pleasure to welcome you today at the University of Niš, or better to say in the name of the University of Niš, because our university is not this hotel, but I hope you'll have a chance to see it for yourselves. This, shall I say, summer school, because of the great weather that we are having this year, marks 2 anniversaries. 50 years of the European Physical Society and 15 years of the SEENET-MTP network, whose executive director is Professor Dragan Đorđević, the organizer of this school, with his team, of course. At the same time, this school marks the beginning of celebrations of the University of Niš, which was founded in 1965. For the sake of all those of you who are here for the first time, I would like to briefly introduce the University of Niš. The headquarters of the University of Niš, which is today located at one of the most representative buildings in Niš, was built in 1887 and is now part of the national heritage. Ours is the only university in the southeast of Serbia which has a population of about 2 million people. It is also one of the most important institutions in Niš, the city of about 300,000 inhabitants, a significant university center in Serbia. The University of Niš has more than 24,000 students at all levels of study, and it consists of 14 faculties in almost all academic fields. There are 1,600 teaching staff and 700 administrative staff. I'm this precise because we have just admitted our application for the Erasmus Charter, so all statistics have to be fresh. In 2015, our university celebrated a significant anniversary, 50 years of development, which means that we are now almost 53 years old. The University of Niš participated in 86 campus projects and coordinated 6 of them. We also participated in 8 Erasmus Plus capacity building projects and coordinated 3. In the last call, we applied with 5 more applications, and we have been invited to join 36 applications. This is the context for SEENET-MTP and Balkan School. Encouraging development of Serbian universities in doctoral studies is perfectly in line with the goals of the University of Niš. We aim to support and encourage all scientific research and make research results available to the entire scientific community. Your presence here, dear students and colleagues, assures me that this goal of the University of Niš will be efficiently realized through your successful defense of your PhDs and consequent collaboration with the University of Niš. In my capacity as Vice Rector for International Relations, I will be here to help and support whatever initiatives you may have. As a teacher of literature, I cannot boast of any expertise regarding the theme of this year's school, high energy and particle physics, theory and phenomenology. However, when I went through the lecture program, I realized that this is exactly what I'm working on. Namely, I'm writing a paper on Sherman Alexi's novel, Flight. Alexi is a Native American author who describes an orphan boy, Zitz, of mixed Native American and Irish origin, whose anger and frustration are channeled by a young white misfit into a mass shooting in a bank. He is shot in the head by a bank guard, but though he drops dead, he wakes up several times in different environments and different times of American past. The only way I could interpret this, apart from the metaphorical, is that he traveled back through time and in the end came back naturally much wiser and more mature than at the beginning. So, I had to read some articles related to time travel, and I got acquainted with the ideas that your teachers will be talking to you about: formation and structure of the cosmos, inflation theory, directionality of time, supersymmetry, string theory, and so on. I cannot claim I understood all of it, but it made sense. So I hope that some of you will eventually answer my question: is time travel possible at all? Finally, in the name of the University of Niš and our rector, Dr. Dragan Antić, I would like to thank you for coming, wish you a very successful school and the most pleasant stay in our town, noted for its hospitality and good food. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, thank you very much to Professor Vesna for coming here and supporting us before and in the future for the future activities. Now I have a great pleasure to welcome again Professor Emilijan Dudaš, who already took part in some of our previous meetings and conferences. So Emilijan, please, I would like to invite you as a lecturer and also member of the Scientific Advisory Committee of SEENET-MTP to regard us. Thank you very much.
So first of all, I'd like to say it's a great honor and privilege for me to be here, to be part of this school and workshop. And I have to thank first of all Goran for his great work done in creating this network, SEENET-MTP, which it's already, as we heard, 15 years of existence. I believe it is very, very important in a region which was highly affected by various political, economical problems, conflicts, and for me it's particularly important since actually even if I work in France, I'm Romanian of origin. So I'm really very sensible and I thank Goran a lot for his huge effort he's doing for a long time in keeping alive this network, organizing schools in all the Balkan countries, trying to get lecturers. So I'm very glad by this. Now, concerning the interaction with you, I don't have much to say. I just want to encourage you to enjoy and take advantage of being here, in the sense that lectures in the fields that we'll talk about, you can these days find everywhere. Books, internet, archives. The most important, I think, is to have some interaction with us, with the lecturers. Important for us is not just for you to listen to us, but some of you which are more advanced, try to take advantage asking in private or during the lecture questions that are still unclear. We all have questions all our lives, and all these subjects we're teaching, so nothing is absolutely clear. For those of you which are less advanced, because I believe that the levels, people are coming from different countries, different backgrounds. Those which have a lower level, please come, bother us, ask questions, advice, anything. That's the most important. Otherwise, if you just take, pen and have lectures, you can find even internet, you don't need to ask him. That's all I want to encourage you to say. And also at some point, I think it would be nice, and Goran promised to organize something like that, for each of you to say a little bit about where you come from, what we're working on, and just for us to know your background, your interests, and such that we can help as much as we can. So thank you very much, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks, Milan, again. Thanks for the nice wording. Now I would ask Milan to check about the possibility for having a Skype meeting with Alessandro Lobato from Central European Initiative. In the meantime, before or after his, I will lead you through a booklet which should be available in hard copy to you today, which is a presentation of the 15 years of the SEENET-MTP to see which background you are. In fact, a good number of you already took part in the previous events in the schools and conferences. But I'm very happy that there are also people who are students who are for the first time here. So let's hope that Alessandro is online. The Central European Initiative is an organization of 18 countries from the Central and Eastern Europe, with the headquarters in Trieste. The main financial supporters of this initiative are Italy and Austria, and most of you are from the countries that belong to that, except Greece and Turkey, and we have the privilege to cooperate with them since 2007. If it's still not online, Milan, I would suggest to switch to the short presentation of the booklet, and then we will try to establish again contact with Alessandro Lobato. Maybe I will not be all the time here, just I would like to announce once again that you will have the lectures these days of Professor Balkan, also know him. Professor Vasha Beležjani from Maximilian University of Munich, and Professor Sergei Sibiryakov from CERN, who will give a lecture in the afternoon. Our plan is that in the beginning of the discussion this evening, you will say a few words about you to present here, so that everybody, also lecturers, knows each other. And during this period, you will have pretty much possibilities for the discussion. There will be also some tutorials, and there will be possibility for you to give short presentation of your research and the poster. If you didn't announce your poster or your presentation, you can do it freely during this one. We just will make this program possible to be done. Okay, so I will just, because Alessandro is not online, I would like just to say a few words. Please, the full size if possible. Okay, so this one. Just if possible to have the full size. It's full size now? Okay, thank you. So, William said a few words. The SEENET-MTP, or the Southeast European Network in Mathematical Physics, was established in 2003 in Crnjačka Banja, in Serbia. This is the photo of the first conference. There was about 50 participants there from around 20 countries. What is, I think, the most important to tell here, it is that this idea would never appear, and for sure would be not realized beside the great support of Professor Julius Wes, who at that time was a professor and head of chair of the physics and also director of the Max Planck Institute in Munich. Lasho's coming here is somehow a connection to this situation back. This was initiative to support scientists from former Yugoslavia, and our idea was to extend to the whole Balkan and also to other regions. This is not very important for you. The network has executive, representative, and scientific advisory committee. Scientific advisory committee has 10 members. Here is the photo of three, let's say, presidents, me as a first coordinator, after that Professor Constantinescu, and nowadays Professor Vulkanov, who were the presidents. Here is the photo of young Julius Wes, who unfortunately left us in 2007. Professor Goran Sinjanovic, originally from Split, Croatia, also he worked a lot in Belgrade, who was the coordinator of the Scientific Advisory Committee, and nowadays he's Professor Ignatios Satroniadis, who will also give 2 lectures on Friday. So this is the representative of some of the countries: Moldova, Bulgaria, Greece, Ukraine, Turkey, Romania, and myself representing Serbia here. In fact, we are not a network of countries, we are a network of departments, of institutes and institutions. The national point is not on the first place. Here is the small map of the all 23 cities from where departments came. And I hope that these days we will have the new one. It will be University of Yanina. So here's the Scientific Advisory Committee. Probably you already, even you are a relatively young researchers or PhD students. Here is the Scientific Advisory Committee coming with Professor Bonora from Trieste, Lars Brink from Sweden, member of the Nobel Prize Committee, Professor Emilian Dudas, Georgi Bali, who is now Professor and Director of Max Planck in Munich, Mark Enol from Brussels, Alexei Morozov from Moscow, Fernando Quevedo, who is currently Director of ICP in Trieste, Professor Izos from Yanina, Timo Weigand from CERN, and Ignatios Antoniadis. This is the list of the full network nodes. You will have also this in your booklet. This is the other network nodes. There is a list of 14 partner institutions all over the world. Maybe I would like to put it here in the numbers. So SEENET-MTP has 15 full member nodes which fulfill all duties which are not very high, 8 network nodes other, 13 partner institutions, around 450 individual members. We realized in these 15 years more than 18 projects. There were around 30 network meetings, what means 2 meetings per year. There was what is, I think, most important, one of the most important things during these 15 years. There was 300 exchanges, mobilities from one to another institution in the region, but I think it was absolutely without any precedent in the past. There was 15 or more monographs, network conference proceedings and similar things, and we count about 225 or more papers with acknowledgement which was supported by some of these 18 networks. The main partner, as you can see, it was UNESCO for 11 years, Central European Initiative, and I told European Physical Society in the last few years a lot of support, ICTP as a partner since the very beginning, CERN in particular last 5 years. In the beginning we have a great support from the German institution and foundation like DIAD, DFG, Bavarian Ministry, etc. Support, financial support also from the Faculty of Science and Mathematics, from Serbian and Romanian ministries, first of all from the region. And of course, all the time there was support from University of Kiev. This is just a few of many publications we have. There are a lot of scientific topics people used to work together in the region. Here is some list of the topics and the partners. Training is I think, one of the most important part of the network, and I think it is and it should be in the future the essential part of the network works. Why? We will discuss in the discussion session. I think that it's obvious that capacity building is absolutely one of the priority to save and, if possible, to improve the situation in basic sciences in our region. Here are two handsome guys from the office and center of Niš. You know them already very well. Outreach. We try also to promote physics and science as much as possible. There are many projects, many training for teachers, many public applications, and what I'm very proud, in parallel with 15 years of the network, we also have marking of 15 years of special class for pupils with high interest in physics and natural sciences. Some of my younger colleagues here, my collaborators, are students of this really something exceptional classes. And here we have the youngest, from the youngest generations, twin brothers, Balkan and Novak, who bring the first medals from the Physics Olympiad to this, one of the first medals in this city. Now this class is also in Novi Sad, in Zemun, and we cooperate with the similar classes from Romania and from Bulgaria. All in all, thank you very much. This is the short presentation. And finally, I would ask Milan to check once again, if possible, to reach Mr. Alessandro Lombardo from CE. You will have 5 to 10 minutes after that for cooling of the opening or warming up for the demanding Americans production lecture.
Hello.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno a tutti. Do you hear me?
Yes, very well, I think.
Excellent.
So, Alessandro, do you have, can you see what about the camera?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you and I can hear
Not
you.
me, you should see the audience.
I see you.
It is not possible. So, through the mimics you can see what is the feedback from the audience. So I can explain here, we have the Vice Rector of the University of Niš, Vesna Lopičić. We have 2 or 3 lecturers here, Professor Dudas from Paris and Professor Berezjani from Munich. And we have fantastic 40 students from around 10 countries. Fortunately or not, most of them are from Central European countries. So I think that during this opening we mentioned and acknowledged the support and long-term cooperation with you. So now it's your turn to regard the students and present briefly what we discussed already about Central European Initiative and forthcoming events, which will be really very exciting in Trieste this year. Thank you for joining us, thank you for support. So now you are on the stage.
Thank you very much, Professor Georgievich. I would like to thank you personally for the organization, but also all the other organizations that are involved in this event, starting from the University of Craiova and then the ICTP, CERN, and all the lecturers that decided, they accepted to come. I'm very happy that this event is still on the foreground of our support. As you know, the Central European Initiative is a regional intergovernmental forum, quite an old one, because next year we are going to celebrate our 30th anniversary. We were launched at the end of the 80s, so it's the oldest forum for regional cooperation in Europe. And now currently our membership is covering quite a large portion of Central, Eastern and Southeastern Europe. because of our membership, of course, our main political scope is to support the European integration of our 8 non-EU member states, which are 5 countries in the Western Balkans plus 3 Eastern European countries, Belarus, Moldova, and Ukraine. And in this process of support to the EU integration of these countries, we strongly believe in science and in the international science cooperation as a tool to promote confidence building and good relations between and among countries in our membership. Therefore, an event like yours that is quite, let's say, it's an ongoing process since 15 years, very well represents our mission as declined through science cooperation. Therefore, it is my pleasure to say a few words in the opening address. And in addition to thank you and to say a couple of things about the Central European Initiative, I wanted to point out 2 opportunities that could be interesting both for the students but also for the lecturers and for your organizations. 2 opportunities, basically 2 calls. One is directly managed by us. It's a so-called Know-How Exchange Program, CAP, it's the acronym. And this is a funding tool that we manage here at the CI Secretariat in Trieste. It's funded by Italy and it's supporting bilateral or trilateral projects between one so-called know-how donor, which has to be an organization in an EU member state of our membership, that is providing know-how to a beneficiary in a non-EU member state of our constituency. The call is currently open and it's going to be open until the 16th of July. I think that you can just have a look at our website, which is ci.int, where you can find additional information on the call, or you can write me and I can address you to the program manager that is, let's say, responsible for this activity. But I think it is a very simple instrument. The application form is quite simple and it's not difficult to build up a project. Much easier than a lot of EU funding programs that you can know. And of course I think that this is the right occasion to draw the attention of the participants to this opportunity that the Central European Initiative is providing. This is not of course, program funding pure research projects, but a number of activities that can be in support to cooperation among universities or among other types of organizations can be funded. So I think it is a good opportunity. The second event or opportunity that I wanted to highlight is related to the Euroscience Open Forum, ESOF, which is the largest science dissemination event in Europe, taking place every 2 years in a different city. The 2020 edition of this Euroscience Open Forum will be held in Trieste, and it will gather in Trieste like more than 5,000 participants from, it is expected, 80 countries. And these participants are different types of, represent different types of organizations, can be researchers, educators, business actors, policymakers, but also journalists. In Trieste, in July 2020, there will be the main event, which will be 1 week with a very, very intense scientific program. The organizers expect 250 events among scientific meetings, conferences, seminars, and public events, such as shows and exhibitions. The reason why I am mentioning this now, which is 2 years in advance, is because the organizers of this event decided to launch some sort of preliminary program or a program that is going to accompany the main event in 2020, and there are calls open now in order to submit project ideas that could be of two different kinds. You can already submit draft project ideas to be included in the main event in 2020, or you can also propose and submit project ideas for events to be organized in the second half of 2018 and throughout 2019. And these events are supposed to draw the attention and raise the awareness of scientific communities of Central European countries and Southeastern European countries on the ESO and on the opportunity that everybody will have to propose an idea to be included in the program. In this regard, I suggest you take a look at the portal of this accompanying program, which is proesof.eu, where you will find all the information about how to submit the project ideas, which kind of support you can get from the organizers in terms of developing the idea and having more chances to be included in this program. I think that one of the reasons why Trieste won the competition to host ESOF in 2020 is related to the projection of the city towards Central and Eastern and Southeastern Europe. The previous editions of ESOF were all held in either capitals or big cities of Western Europe. And this is the first time that ESOF is trying to gather participants from Eastern and Southeastern and Central Europe, and the willingness of the ESOF organizers is to have in the future a candidature from one of the capitals of Eastern or Southeastern Europe. Therefore, it's a good way to be involved in this process, and hopefully in the future there will be a candidature from one of the cities of Central and Eastern European countries, that can be from Serbia or whatever country wants to apply to host this huge dissemination science event. Again, I am at disposal via email or telephone or Skype to provide you with additional information if needed. I don't want to take too much time to your program, but of course I'm available to provide further information or to put you in direct contact with the organizers of the ProESOF Ball. Whereas on the CAP that I mentioned before, the CI Secretariat is the program manager, so you can directly contact me if you need further information. And for the rest, of course, I wish you a fruitful school and a fruitful event to all the students, and a big thank to the University of Niš, to Professor Georgievich, and to all the lecturers that are involved in this event. Thank you very much.
Molto grazie Alessandro. I think it's
it's obvious that Niš would be one of the strongest candidates if we enter the competition, but let's see what will be in the future. And I think you will join us again on 14th of June when we will have the SEENET-MTP Council and where we will exactly discuss about these possibilities for application. Thanks again, thank you for your time, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Tutti auguri.
Goodbye.
So, I feel very well when I was in Rio de Janeiro, but not about Copacabana and Ipamena. Then 45 minutes flexibility there is just something like normal. If you are not in delay more than 45 minutes, everybody is absolutely happy. If you are not angry, of course, to them. So I think we are far away from 45 minutes of delay. Our proposal is to have a juice or water to relax a bit and to give also some time to Emiliano to prepare for the first lecture. So see you back in 10 minutes. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your coming and also to best Emiliano and all of you.